Hey there, guys. It is Rachel Feldman. And this is kind of, yes, a podcast that I felt was extremely necessary during this time of uncertainty. And I say that not in a negative way. We all deal with uncertainty in our business. Sometimes there are situations where we have to work from home. Sometimes there are situations where we are let go of our corporate job and we've got to figure out how we're going to make money. Sometimes there's uncertainty in times like this, or even times in our own health crisis. One of my favorite books that I want to share with you, and one that has always brought me back to true purpose, is Pema Chodron, When Things Fall Apart. Number two, this is a time where we do have to tap in our own faith. That doesn't mean that we don't prep and make ourselves aware. This is one of the reasons that I interviewed Dr. Pedersen weeks ago. That interview can be found in the show notes below. It is an interview that I did on my personal page on Facebook because it is important to get prepped. I know many people think that viruses, are here for all different reasons. One of the things for being a woman with an autoimmune, for having a family with immune suppressed systems, I think it's imperative that we all just are aware of exactly how to use our common sense, our intuition, and also how to survive in business during these tough times. Number three, I want us all to come into a state of compassion. I talked to a good friend of mine yesterday who we were pivoting her business because she just had to cancel her retreat. Like many of you who either do retreats or who host live workshops or completely work offline, such as gyms, spas, massage therapists, etc. During that conversation, we started not on how are we going to make this money back, but we started on the compassion route of thinking about many people who don't have the option to even work at home. These people who are at jobs and they have kids that are at home and they're single and they're working many jobs. We thought about the many people in the world who don't have the tools at their fingertips to get supplies, to get immune boosting teas, immune boosting tonics, immune boosting anything, such as many of our leaders in the industry have shared, such as Dr. Pedersen, Chris Kressler, and Louise Gittleman. I have many of my friends who are doctors, acupuncturists, and or functional medicine practitioners, coaches, sharing their strategies that they use, whether it's, and again, this does not replace what your doctor says, nor the government or the CDC. These are common sense immune. It's common sense that if we feel off, we're going to boost our immune with vitamin C. It's common sense that if we feel off, we are going to love our gut with probiotics and prebiotics. It makes common sense for me, no matter what just my issue is, I'm going to use essential oils and CBD oil to keep my body in a lower stress so it doesn't affect my immune. I'm going to sleep well. It makes common sense that I would use the teachings of many of the above to make sure I have magnesium oil. I would look at the teachings of many people who specialize in hormone health, and I would use things that make sense like chaga tea, dandelion to support my liver, Epsom salt baths, skin brushing, tongue scraping, many things that have been around for since ancient times, and that we often forget in our busy day. We forget it's necessary to sweat. Now, I'm very fortunate and I have a sauna, but if you don't sweat, you can do that by, of course, running in place. You can do that by wearing a sweatsuit, drinking tea and running. You can also just exercise at home. You can also do things like an Epsom salt bath and drink some tea, some immune boosting tea. There's many tea companies that have really great things that have been around since ancient times, echinacea, all these wonderful support tools. Keep in mind, I am a health coach. I am a mom who is a warrior. I have dealt with my own gut issues, Lyme, Clostridia, pylori. I was hospitalized many, many times for asthma and on life support twice. I birthed kids with heavy metals and I had them too. So this, a lot, please take in mind, comes from the many readings of Dietrich Klinghardt, Huda Clark, and many others that have been that have been able to share this with us. Please take the precautions, listen to the government wherever you are. Make sure that you are following, the necessary precautions that you need to, and get empowered. The beauty of this is that we can take this opportunity to spend time with family, to get grounded again. We live in such a busy world of telephones and online classes and busyness that we can take this time to reground ourselves. We can also take this time to use the internet to find great resources, as I've mentioned. We can also take this time to look at the silver lining of this and to have compassion and gratitude. If you are a coach, we're going to talk about also how to run your business. So remember, you can either run your business in a scarcity fear mode, just like the rest of the economy. It's not just you. We're all trying to figure out how to take this and provide suggestion. We also hear things about the stock market. It's a really great thing to look at the stock market, who is looking at this in a depersonalized way, showing us, some of the things that we can expect for Q2, Q3. This is also an unbelievable opportunity to get out of the left side of our brain that always needs a structured plan and step into what I call the 1% entrepreneurial mindset, which is the pivoting mindset. With that, I want you to take some deep breaths, ground yourself, do your meditations, walk the walk, talk the talk, show people how you are, handling situations like this. And at the same time, share your vulnerability. One of the things that made me so successful in Rachel's Wellness is I shared the uncomfortable, but I also shared the solution. So let's get down to some options. For those of you who are watching this by video, we are going to put the video under. We would love, of course, for you to go and like and follow us on iTunes. You can share this. And I also want to, of course, provide you this YouTube video so that you can make sure that you are also seeing. I'm going to just hide bear with me. I'm going to just hide myself. Okay, can't do it. This is what we mean. Keep it simple. Okay, guys. The great thing, and many of our coaches who've been with us since 2012 have bought our programs, and they use them in a variety of different ways. What's cool about today's podcast at the Healthy Hustle podcast is to show you how to not feel overwhelmed. Whether we were handling this virus or not, this is about smart business building. One, you can create a community membership. Many of you already have platforms, maybe like Kajabi, Teachable, ClickFunnels, MemberPress, MemberVault, Practice Better. The list goes on. Please do not jump ship on your platforms. Do not jump ship on your CRM. Because what happens is it takes you away from being able to coach. Only change platforms when you feel that you will make more money. For example, don't just jump from MailerLite or ConvertKit, or many of these simple, many of these platforms to active campaigns just because you think it's going to help you during a time of either crisis or non-crisis. What helps you most is to know your platforms and know how to use them. So one is you can have a simple landing page, lead pages. You can even, many of you can make landing pages. I'm in Infusionsoft, not telling you to go there. I have learned Infusionsoft and it's where I'm staying, but Infusionsoft has landing page. So does Entreport, MailerLite, ConvertKit. You can use that landing page, or you can even make one in WordPress if you're with WordPress. You can have a buy button. That buy button can be redirected to a thank you page and then an automatic responder, also called an AR, aka the first email that you get. That can say, hey, thank you for buying. This is what you can do. Come to this Facebook group. Now, if you have your platforms that you can build this out, awesome. I'm talking about keeping this simple. You can even do this on Eventbrite. It connects right to your email marketing system, also called your CRM, and you can do the same. That Eventbrite page can be made in about 15 minutes. So can a lead page, so can a page just right on your site, or you can do the whole thing in, like I said, even MailChimp, MailerLite, anything. So you can build out the Facebook section. You could, of course, buy our 12-month Done For You content course. You can buy our 12-month kids. You can even use any of the programs you have. Many of you have signature programs you've created, or you have a signature program and you're trying to piece together some other, what I call teaching sessions, teaching series. So that's why it's really great when you're looking at your program. How can you use it? And also to think about right now, are people going to commit to a $3,000 signature course? Maybe they will. Maybe it's also good to look at what I call low-cost offers. Low-cost offers allow you to build that trust and that trust factor at a low-cost offer so they can graduate to your higher ticket price without feeling nervous that they're investing all that. People are not nervous investing a lot when they know the value and they know what it's like to coach with you, hence the low-cost offer. That could be, hey guys, come into this group. It's only $57, $57 times 10, 5,700. $57 times, 10 people, even 5,700. Let's say that those 10 people do that same for 12 months, 6,840. You can then have a higher, this is what a funnel is all about. It's these different opportunities at different commitment levels. So that person could come into that membership and they do want to do one-on-one coaching with you. And your one-on-one coaching price hypothetically is $150 for an hour. Say 3 people come in, 450 plus a 570, even with that 1 month, is 1,020. Even if you only had one person, 150 plus 570, 720. Even if you just had that one person. But it's safe to say that your first month at 57 and you're showing the social proof and people are getting extremely excited. Sorry, one sec. People are getting extremely excited. It makes sense that what? You're probably going to double that the next month. 57 times 20, 1,140. Say 2 people go to your single session. So we have 20 times 57, 1,140 plus 300. That's 1,440. So I just want you to think of some simple ways. People may not want to do your 6 month. People may not want to spend, a large investment. That means if you're doing high ticket masterminds, retreats, it may be nerve wracking for them, especially to invest right now if they have to buy a plane ticket, even if it is refundable. But it's just, you have to meet people where they are, not where you're like, but they're not doing this. Well, meet them where they are. You could even take any of this and do a online fitness or a mom support group during times of uncertainty. Also, you can think about UICA, your ideal client. If they have kids that have gut issues and these kind of viral stuff, we're not even talking coronavirus, we're talking anytime that you have autoimmune stuff, these little viruses can trigger food intolerances, food sensitivities, environmental sensitivities, skin issues, sulfation, methylation issues. It can trigger stims and ticks and all these things for kids. It can also trigger constipation just for what I call the normal person, level 1, 2, and 3 issues, where she just feels off, hair is falling out, she's got constipation issues. She is not right. Same thing for somebody who's a high-powered CEO. What's his or her life? What is the stress? I know for some of my family members who had offices nationwide, now they're at home and they said, wow, I feel so much better being at home. I really would love somebody to teach me, some really good food practices right now, what I can do. Yes, family, I'm calling you today. But what about the people who are still working? I know some of my family members, even though schools are closed, the teachers still have to be there. How can we support these people? And I think that's the mindset shift that truly saved me, especially in the beginning, is I didn't think money. Of course, I had to think about my whole business structure. How was I going to get to a 2K, a 1K, a 2K, a 3K, a 5K month and more? But I always thought about the person first. If I were in that person's shoes, what would be my fears for my ideal client, and even the different avatars that I have, the person that really gets stressed, the person who goes, oh, whatever, and then stresses last minute. And they all were my ideal client. They just had very different buyer personalities and very different habits. Maybe somebody all had digestive issues, but one was a high-powered CEO, one was a mom to kids that had left to college, one was retired, playing out their life. You could take any of our programs, and of course, if you have programs, use them. You don't have to necessarily buy new. You can add on, things either that you have from other people that you bought or from me. This is the time to be creative. Create a series of online classes: immune, sleep, detox, mindset, gut health, low sugar, high carb, ketogenic. I was talking to a coach, Awila. Yes, Awila, I'm talking about you. We were just talking yesterday how keto, like the work of Terry Walls, had reset my body. Doesn't mean I'm always keto. Some people have to be. I've been vegetarian, raw, fasting, paleo, primal. I think I've been everything, and now I really am not dogmatic, but I pull on these resources, which is how I coach, to teach somebody how to tap into that intuition and find their perfect blueprint for their body with the seasons, with stress levels, so that they knew how to pull from all these resources and tools. You are their resource and tool. Some of our clients, 90%, don't know where to look right now. They are being bombarded by so much information. So Awila yesterday, she and I talked about during this time of stress, and she's a nurse, she's an in-home nurse, how she can truly rise above this and share about how keto really reset her life, reset her body, how she has diabetes, and how she can really help to provide information for kids and the moms that follow her and moms like her. The same is for you. How do you handle stress? Tell me 1, 2, 3. It's not just, I work with people for mind, body, spirit. Yeah, I know you do. But tell me how you handle stress. How do you handle uncertain times? How do you handle a death in the family? How do you handle overwhelm? Because it's those areas that stop our clients from getting better. I see so many coaches fail in this area because they say, I work with clients between the ages of 25 to 40. I help them with 1, 2, 3 so they can have A, B, and C. Go deeper, guys. Show me, what are the things that you do on a daily basis? Be like Megan Rand, Zesty Ginger. Yes, I'm calling you out. Go to her IG profile. Every day there's a tip. Every day there's, talk about cranberry juice or cherry juice or their periods or the cycle, or how do you handle, different times of your cycle. Show me that bread and butter, whether it's dairy-free or it's paleo bread. Show me it. Show your clients. This is where it separates those of you who are great coaches to those of you who are great coaches who can communicate. And many coaches will struggle during this time. Don't be a struggling coach. This is where the magic happens. It's when you can step into your client's shoes and even into your own life and say, where was I when I first was struggling? And if it wasn't your own struggle, stepping back and saying, what is my favorite vitamin C company? What is the best antiviral that I use? And why? Who taught me this? So you're not even on liability zone saying, do this. It's like, what's the favorite lysine? Because I do have EBV. And so I've hired people. I still reference people, Keisha Kynes, wherever you think, whatever camp you are, I still look at the teachings of my detox teacher, Dr. Morse. What are the principles? Medical medium, the principles. Doesn't mean that I live and die and breathe by any of their teachings. I pull from all resources. John Juilliard, Paul Pitchford, and I can think of course, many others because I have 400 books here. And I would use that to really show people, how do you find great food right now on the cheap? How do you wash your food? How do you wash your product, your foods right now, your fruits and vegetables? Me personally, food grade hydrogen peroxide and or grapefruit seed extract. Again, I want to say this disclaimer. This is not approved by the FDA. This is information that I've gotten from teachings, from school, from life, from education, courses, etc. This is stuff that I've gotten from books that I read. Endless. This does not take away from what your doctor advises you to do. It makes common sense that we should probably take zinc at this time. It makes common sense that we should take vitamin D. Common sense that we should take vitamin K, eat dim foods, because I'm even today going to my hormone doctor to get my update, on what I need to do for just my hormones in general. These are all the things that he suggests. You want to make sure during these times that you are, per the work of Dr. Wilson, Dr. Lamb, your adrenal health. And they have, just like Josh Axe has on his page, they all have their suggested protocols because they are doctors and they are permitted to do that. Use one program to create a wellness retreat. Many of you have retreats that are scheduled and were scheduled, and right now you're in a little pickle. Don't. Take the lemons, make lemonade, and turn this into a positive time. Many of you have retreats or live workshops. It's okay. Take it online. Take it online. Zoom.us. There are so many different meeting sources, many places where you can do forums if you didn't want to do Facebook. These are just ideas. How to structure the retreat, a landing page with payment. Create the 3-month mastermind. This might even be the 12. Month 1, what's included? Month 2, what's included? Month 3, how many calls? Are you doing a live Q&A? Are you including a one-on-one session with each person who signs up? Are you doing 3 recorded 3 pre-recorded bonus videos, maybe on immune, foods for the gut, how you de-stress, meditation. 3 bonuses also. They could even be skin brush, essential oil, CBD oil. It could even be a smudge kit. There's so many different cool ideas. A journal. You can bring this online. There's so many easy ways to pivot when we think outside the box. Contact other business owners. Guess what? They're all struggling. This is the compassion part. How many restaurants, spas, yoga studios have needed to shut down, even health food stores? Reach out to them now. You know your own acupuncturist. I just reached out to 4 of them and said, hey guys, let's do online classes. I reached out to all my homies, functional medicine practitioners and specialists, to say, let's do something. Let's educate. This is such a great time. Not in this money mindset, not in a way where I'm in a scarcity mindset, but in an abundance. Oh, guys, what a time where we are as a world with eyes wide open. I think back to the 80s when we had Hands Across America, We Are the World. We were in a time of crisis. Guys, this world is cyclical. Everything always is repeated in this world. Don't look at this as, oh my God, right now. Look at this as, wow, what a great time. We've had Gaia, Mother Nature, and whatever you want to say in the last few years, throw us tornadoes, hurricanes, fires, crisis everywhere. And as my acupuncturist said, maybe Gaia is saying, here we are. It's always said that the time to reset, as we see climate change, is that really it would be an ice age. Maybe this is our ice age. Maybe this is our time where we all have to wake up. There is crisis in so many other countries. I talked to one of my membership, I don't call students, I hate that word. We're all doing this together. Samantha Edwards. And we talked about when she grew up in Africa, there was a lot of crisis, a lot of uncertainty. I talked to some of the coaches who are from different parts of the world where crisis always happens. I talked to some friends in the Philippines. I've talked to people worldwide because we provide content worldwide. I even had clients worldwide who talked about the uncertainty in their part of the world. And they would always say, you know, it's interesting watching the US and how they react to uncertainty, because in many parts of the world, we always have uncertainty. So this is the compassion part. This is where we step into the worldwide vision and we rise up, and we rise up together. We rise up together as acupuncturists and doctors and specialists and PhDs and those with PhDs who study this, biochemists, other people who we can all come together and help with all our knowledge instead of scarcity mindset. Well, how am I going to make money? No, that was the saving grace of my business, is that I realized, because I was living in a red state, that I had to co-collaborate. And because of that co-collaboration, we would work together. And because of that, I created a great referral business. And because of that, I created great relationships with people who did genetic testing, with people who are biochemists, with people who did epigenetics, NET, all these amazing things. And guess what? We did those offline. And I just called my homies and said, that's it. We've got to do this online. People need to know this. How do we come out of this stress mindset? How do we reset? How do we go back to a different time where we weren't overburdened with this kind of stress? So reach out. Yoga studios, running clubs, collaborate online, bring what you do offline online. And that is exactly the series I did on the hybrid funnel. This is when you can take your efforts of these offline connections and bring them online. Not only is this great for the brand new coach, and if you guys are like, well, I don't have those contacts. No, you do. I always say contact 5 people who already like, know, and trust you. Some of those are your own doctors. They are your own people, your own acupuncturist, etc. It's time to come out of this scarcity mindset and think, how can we really build a business? One-on coaching. You can use Practice Better, Zoom, make sure it's HIPAA compliant. Take your business, of course, one-on-one, online. I had a thriving one-on-one business. It was via Zoom and Skype many, many years ago, before we had HIPAA compliant rules. And that's how I always saw people. I was a worldwide coach. I was able to see people in all these different places because of that. And I loved one-on-one. You can also have small little groups, per 3 different people. Make it cost effective for people. I used to say, if you can't afford, great, get 3 people. I charge $150 as long as we're all working off the same program. And that's how I systemized my business. Leverage your list, leverage that other, join the forces, take the time to get on podcasts, interviews, create from any of the information that you already have or stuff that you buy from us, create a survival kit, pitch to podcasts, pitch to different people. Hey, I've got this survival kit. And they get these 5 bonuses, a program, these videos. Showcase yourself. Video is how you have to change the game these days. It's the video. It's these ways where people really, especially in this time, want to see, are you really talking the talk and walking the walk? Do you really know what you're talking about? Do you have an entire goodie bag next to you? The Chinese herbs that I use, and I'm not telling you that you should put people on Chinese herbs. I'm saying, do you really walk it? Magnesium oil. Do you really talk it? Bile salts. Do you really use the stuff? And that is what's going to separate the coach. You know, also, in this digital age, in this changing market, where what worked is not working anymore. I know, guys. I will just say it, and I will talk about the elephant in the room. The Facebook ad that used to work, the funnels that used to work. Funnels are imperative, but they work when you also connect. The days of bots, the days of all that, it's not that they're done. It's that we need to put in the personal connection, that VIP experience. Because the other person who's not, they just lost the client. These times of the evergreen master classes that are on Facebook, they're clocking somebody 100,000. Times have changed. And I've talked about this with many different experts, Facebook ad experts, content, digital marketers. It's not to say you should throw out the baby in the bathwater. Re-massage it. Re-massage the funnels that you have. Bring people into a one-on-one experience, because that's how you are most likely going to convert people. Bring that offline experience where you're talking to people into the online space. Change the game. Here's some great topics: gut, immune teas, immune foods, detox support, exercising at home, kids health, hormone health, skin health, meditation, ways to stay active. I'm making a garden right now. I'm also talking about, you know, if I was coaching, but still I would anyway, talking about how we can grow our own herbs, how we can also put plants in our house that, you know, change the air quality, how to embrace and rise up in the hard times, as Les Brown says. Pema Chodron, many of the other books that I have mentioned, the oils you use, CBD oil, massaging, self-care, sauna, and the list goes on. If you're having a tough time being creative yourself, and I really hope those of you who know me, you know that this is not a salesy kind of pitch. I say that because it's the truth. We all, of course, have businesses. The thing is, we are content machines. But my job also here is to show you what to do. That's why in my free group, I will be going live every day on how to structure this and how to not freak out about your business. Oops, it's healthcoachbiz.com. Let me just stop sharing for a second. Some of you, like I said, this is Health Coach Biz, yourhealthcoachbiz.com. And I'm going to say this. If you drop a comment there, we will be there. I will be there. I personally answer. My team will maybe forward it to me, but I will personally answer. I'm saying, of course, I'm talking about sales here. I'm talking about things that if you need to buy. And at the same time, I'm also sharing like what I had to do, the whole time I was coaching. Sometimes things don't work. Sometimes you miss the message. All you have to do is like remassage it. For those of you who have your entire online, set up, but you're like, okay, Rach, but I already have it. Awesome. This is what you do. You start talking about those subjects. And then you tell people, during this time, we do need support. We do need coaching. I'm going to give a savings. This doesn't mean that you're not owning your worth. Doesn't mean that you're not doing it. It means that you're being smart and meeting people where they are. In a time of uncertainty, instead of sitting there and having a month where you make nothing, go with a low-cost offers. Tell people, I get it. Here's a 30% savings. Or here, I totally get it that working with me right now and you want to put that on hold. What if you bring 5 friends? Make that community. Meaning, if you're doing one-on-one coaching and somebody says, I've got to cancel this, just say to them, let's expand it. Let's change the game for you and your friends. It's not crappy sales. It's actually loving sales. And the truth is, at the end of the day, guys, when you have a business, it is sales. I know it's hard. I had a really bad money mindset in the beginning. I charged nothing for my coaching services because it was hard for me to charge because I felt such empathy because I had so many autoimmune issues and gut issues and stuff of that nature. But at the end of the day, you do have to charge. And you also have to talk about the subjects. People don't just buy your program or come to your series. I think that's also what I want to just say right here is a program is not like the end all be all solution. You don't just put a program out on your site and people hire you. You consistently show up sharing those tools, as I said earlier, the walk, the talk tools. And those who are really advanced in marketing, I know many coaches who are very advanced in marketing, have spent a lot of time understanding marketing. I encourage you to look at free tools from Ryan Deiss, Deiss, talks a lot about, client avatar. Donald Miller talks a lot about story. Amy Porterfield is amazing. She talks a lot about the basics. Guys, there are so many free tools. A lot of you have spent a lot of time marketing, but you never coached. A lot of you have spent a lot of years building the perfect site. Now you don't know what to do. A lot of you have spent times in areas, the perfect platform, switching, platform to platform, and now you're stuck. This is the time to coach. Let go of perfection. Share with a solution. Facebook is not about you just sharing your problem. Don't go on Facebook and say, I'm really overwhelmed. You may be overwhelmed. Sit with it. Say, how am I dealing with my overwhelm? Write it down. What are the tools that I'm using to de-overwhelm myself? Write it down. What are the conversations I'm having with friends and or practitioners to not feel stressed? Write it down. That's your social media post. That's your video. That's your content. That's your blog. And do that every day. How am I dealing with this today? What were some of the things that made me concerned, made me overwhelmed? How am I, handling not being constipated? How am I handling decisions that I'm making? That's your content. Where you lead them is where you lead them, whether it's a challenge, it's a group, it's a free resource, it's a low cost, paid opportunity. It's the mini problem. It's the problems that people are having and the results they desire with these mini steps. You can't just say, come on and do my, meditation challenge, or my sugar challenge. They're like, hey guys, I know during this time of stress, it's easy to want to binge out on sugar because our stress is so high that we naturally crave carbs and sugar. Guys, and carbs aren't bad. The bad carbs are bad. That's a whole post. Then the second is, guys, I want to show you my, bulletproof-ish coffee today. And if you're vegan and you're vegetarian, show me what you did. Did you do, what is your favorite tea that you do? That's a post. That's a video. That's called pre-buzz. That's called telling the story. Number 3, I'll talk about, guys, I'm having a really tough time going through this. And so I created a chat chain, which I did with some girlfriends, that if we typed in SOS, that meant that we just needed to like talk to each other. And so, hi guys, I encourage you to create your chat chain. Or, hey guys, I'm doing a chat chain. That chat chain can turn into a paid opportunity because people do need support. Number 4, guys, I wanted to show my low sugar treat. I was so craving sugar the other night because, I was really stressed that my friend had to cancel this really big event. So I made this hot chocolate. And this is really good also for kids. I put in this for immune. Stay tuned tomorrow for X tip. That's how you lead them through. And that's how you say, like, if you are launching something in May or April or any time, you tell the story a month before. You start telling the story. I call it 2 and 2. You tell the story for like 2 weeks. And this is not just going to be like in the content when people say to me, oh, you provided everything. I always say, we have provided everything. And at the same time, you need to personalize that. That doesn't just mean the covers. That doesn't just mean the program. It's personalizing it in how you handle your life. What do you do? How do you handle, these times when you have an autoimmune and you're selling the gut program? How do you handle these times when you can get really stressed and you believe in seasonal eating to boost, to boost, and it's a really tough time finding that? What do you suggest? Spirulina, barley, grass, blueberry powder, all these really cool things that you can find, ashwagandha, and share them from your personal experience, because we do not diagnose, we do not treat, we do not cure. And the more that we get out of that mindset, we are bringing people, as my teacher said, Dr. Morris, we're bringing people back home to the information, to their intuition, to having the tools at their fingertips. And that is the beauty of what we do, all in collaboration together. So with that being said, guys, if you have content already, awesome. Use it. Be creative. If you don't, or you're trying to fill in gaps, which people have been asking, we have immune PowerPoints. We have a natural remedies book. We have vision boarding, how to stay present, affirmations, all these cool tools. And if you have them on your own, or you're writing them, or you're doing them, awesome. Do it and really figure out how you're going to show up. And if you don't, we're here for you. So, I think at the end of the day, guys, find your community yourself, find your tribe. If I'm not your tribe, no joke, find your own tribe. There are tons of amazing people out there. I gave you so many resources to use, to utilize, so many different people to follow, because in this day and age, there's so much free, amazing tools out there that you can use or get ideas from. Mind Body Green. What is Dr. Oz talking about? What's Food Matters talking about? See what they're talking about, because guess what? They're machines. They have these huge marketing teams, and you can really optimize off of the things that they're talking about. Yeah, and Josh Axe, he has a plethora of knowledge. Whether you like him or not, this isn't about what camp you're in. Oh, I don't like him because. It's about looking at all these pioneers who had the cojones to show up and to share and to put their truth out there. So with that being said, guys, it's an honor to be with you. My name is Rachel Feldman. You can go to yourhealthcoachbiz.com. You can also see this podcast at rachelafeldman.com/podcast. And that's it. We also do have free tools. So if you don't have the money right now to buy anything, go to my free tool page. There's a 5-day healthy habit challenge that is there that you could utilize. There's so much stuff that we provide to you, from blogs and even emails on my website. You know, we're here. We are here, and we're all here with compassion and grace and understanding for each other. Much love, peace, big kisses to all. Deep breaths. We've got this. I love you all. Bye.